I am also going to be making oats. So I'm going to get my oats ready. But more than that, I'm going to talk about real estate business funding. I always like to go live while I'm doing something because I was talking about this last time that sometimes I struggle to do this with like motivation. Obviously, at the beginning of the year, I went live every single day for like 4 months. But sometimes, I just want to chill. And as you're traveling, sometimes you don't want to do it all the time. But I'm going to be talking about real estate business investing. Also, going to be answering some questions, reaching out to you guys. Usually, I don't go live on a Saturday, but today is one of those days that I do. So, surprise! There you go. So then, if you're joining us, welcome. I'm going to be making oats while I answer your questions and talk about some things that is actually very pertinent. So, one of the things that you should know is that I'm retired. I am not yet 30. I travel the world. I own a lot of real estate and a couple different businesses, and life is good. I've been traveling for the last 2 years, you know, after retiring. That's what I wanted to do. And so, I've just been enjoying that. And this YouTube has been growing and it's been very nice. I didn't struggle to light the fire this time. But it's been very nice traveling. And, I can't complain. There's a lot happening in the world that many people could complain about. I don't really have a lot of complaints. Life is really great. So, I'm going to be making oats. First thing I got to do, I got to get my milk as I'm making the oats, right? So, here's something that you should understand about business. Let's get right into it. If you're gonna make business, if you're gonna make money today, right? So if you joining, tell me where you're watching from, so that we can get this conversation started. Here's something that you should understand about business today. Right now, you're probably watching this from a smartphone, right? Now, if you're watching this from a smartphone, regardless of what business that you're starting, your smartphone is a computer. You are holding more technology right now than sent us to the moon, right? So then you have the power, essentially, to send yourself to the moon in the palm of your hand. It's a computer. Though most people don't use their phone as a computer. Most people are using their phone for TikTok or, just to scroll social media every day. But the thing that's in your hand can actually make you a lot of money. And that's why I'm retired, is because I use my phone to make money. So I'll show you some things that you can do with your phone, right? Okay, if you're on Canva, you can get onto Canva. Download Canva, it's free. Get onto Canva, get yourself a logo, get yourself some graphic design, get yourself some infographics, and you can use these infographics to promote whatever product that you're selling. Okay, so let's say one of my first businesses was a t-shirt business. Okay, cool. Basic t-shirt business. Now I'm in real estate, millions of dollars later, but my first business, or one of my first businesses, was just selling t-shirts, right? Regular t-shirts. I take a t-shirt, put a design on it, sell it to people. Okay, cool. To do a t-shirt business, you're gonna need a logo, you need designs. You can do all of this from Canva. Now, how do you generate interest for your t-shirt brand? You're gonna get onto Facebook, not just your friends, you're gonna get onto Facebook groups. Which Facebook groups do you get into? Okay, so then let me tell you something that was very cool for me. When I discovered Facebook groups, I realized that there were people out there who wanted to buy, who were my exact demographic, and I could reach them for free. Think about that. If I'm looking for moms, if I'm looking for teenagers, if I'm looking for business owners, I'm looking for bankers, all of these groups already exist online in precisely the location that I need them to. So if I want US bankers, Facebook group. If I want realtors, if I want moms in New Jersey, if I want moms in Florida, moms who like soccer, whatever you can think of. If I want that demographic and I want to sell them t-shirts, there's already a Facebook group that's made just for them. So at the time I was in Jamaica, so then I would just look up Jamaican high school or Jamaican churches or Jamaican musicians. And everybody was already in a Facebook group. And all I needed to do was consistently and creatively post my product into that Facebook group using just my phone. So remember, I've done the logo, the design for the shirt, haven't bought any shirts because you don't have to. I've done mock ups using Canva. So I've done the logo, done the outreach, and I've started to collect orders because now I'm taking money from people for orders. They like this t-shirt, I can get you one. We launch in 30 days. So now I'm collecting money and I haven't made any t-shirt yet. Now, where do I make the t-shirts? I actually go to a store and said, hey, I have these orders. I know the t-shirts cost $10. I'm going to sell them for 20. You say, hey, can I get all of these orders in these sizes with this graphic on it? Now I have all of this money I've collected. I'm using that money to actually go and pay for the t-shirts. Now on day one, guess what I get to say? All of our t-shirts are sold out. All of our t-shirts are sold out. Now that's a 60-day launch from concept to actually launching the product and getting sales. So now I've sold all of my t-shirts and I'm sold out. Now I get to go onto social media and say to everybody, hey, all of the t-shirts that we just published, they're all sold out. What does that do? It raises your brand. So then now you start doing that 3, 4 times a year. We're selling out, we're selling out, we're selling out. Post, sell out. Post, sell out. Remember, none of this is using your own money. You're using the money that you collected from people to get the t-shirts that they saw. And you can use Canva to create mock-ups of people wearing your shirts. Now, as you start to get profit from the first sale, from the first few times that you do this, now you can start giving physical t-shirts to influencers to wear your shirt. Then you get them wearing it. You get other influencers, you get people in the community wearing your shirt, and then you take pictures of them, plus all of the marketing that you had before. T-shirts look nice. Now, especially if you're doing like some type of quirky message, right? Don't just do something that everybody has seen before. For example, in Jamaica, don't just do one love. Everybody knows our T-shirt that does one love. Do something that's interesting, something with a saying, right? For example, I remember that there was, and you might not like this, but I'm just showing you that it's memorable. Um, there's a shirt that says, "Don't shout at me, I'll get horny." It's a stupid T-shirt, right? But you remember it. I haven't bought that T-shirt, but I remember the T-shirt. If you do something that's that memorable and people can like, that's a saying, identify. Maybe it's not you, whatever. There are other examples, but you get my point. Now you're doing something. It's like a purple cow. If you're scrolling and you see a purple cow, the idea is it's something that you haven't seen before because whoever sees a purple cow. So then that's what you're trying to create with your brand. So then you go back to Facebook, you're doing this multiple times every single month. Yo, this is a lot of free game. I hope you guys are appreciating this. By the way, if you're here, just drop a like so that more people can come in. I'm giving you a free game. So then, you know, just pay me back with a like. That's all I'm asking. Pay me back with a like, okay? I'll keep going. As I said, I'm doing my oats. So this is for you guys. Right. So then, if you're doing this multiple times, this is how you actually launch a company from not having anything. Remember, I didn't have a lot of money when I just started. So then I needed a creative way to actually make money. So then I found Facebook groups and I could find people, I could make them offers, I could collect their money, give them product and keep doing the same thing again, and then also give them reviews. That's actually how I got my first couple sales online. Now you can do the same thing. No matter what product you're selling, you can sell it to people in Facebook groups. You don't need to just rely on your friends and family to make money. This is a new way of doing business. I started this by saying you have a phone in front of you that's a computer. Use your computer to actually make money. Don't just scroll TikTok and Instagram every day when you're sitting on more technology than sent us to the moon the first time that we went to the moon. It's in your hand right now. More technology. You have a calculator, you have the internet, you have a phone dial-up, right? You have a marketing device, you have AI, you have ChatGPT today. Come on. You know what I mean? Use your phone to actually make money. Don't just sit on it. Anyway, tell me where you're watching from if you're here. Talk to me. I'm gonna pause and let some people, more people come in. There's a lot of games just now. As I said, I'm making oats. Which one is this? Cinnamon and spice. Ooh, ooh. Don't just be silent. Come in. Tell me where you're watching from. Talk to me, people. I don't usually go live on a. Oh, damn, that milk is hot. I don't usually go live on a Saturday, so I'm very interested to know where you guys are watching from. Tell me what's happening with you guys. Last time we had a very active chat, so it's always fun going live. It's always fun going live. All right, let's see. Turn it slightly that way. Oh, I haven't given you guys the house tour. I'm in a very big house, and it's just me. This is the entire kitchen, and it's just me. I don't know why I got so big of a house, and I don't really use this kitchen a lot. But there you go. That's the living room over there. I have a giant. Oh, yeah, I'm very tall. That's the living room. It's very nice, right? Um, yeah, that's the living room. That's bedroom number one, and over there is bedroom number two behind that wall. Um, I don't know why I got such a big Airbnb. It's usually smaller than this because, as I said, I travel solo, so it's just me. But I got a pretty big Airbnb this time, so I've just been rocking with it. Okay, I think my milk is ready. Let's have these oats. The reason why I have oats, by the way, is because of protein. I work out, and so I get my protein. Um, this is obviously not all the protein I'm going to have for today, but by having oats instead of like biscuits or something, then I get more protein throughout the day. So then I get to grow big and strong. You know. Anyway, I'll talk about one more thing while these oats get ready. By the way, if you're new here, I like going live. You are supporting giving scholarships to kids in Jamaica every time that you subscribe. I am already retired. I travel the world. I do this because I get to talk to you guys while I travel the world, and we get to use any money that we get from this to the kids in Jamaica. So you subscribe, you help those kids. Cool, cool. Um, so while those oats get ready, I'll say one last thing about business funding. Cool. Who's this? Hey, Ken, what's up? Good to see you. Damn, says you're a top fan, but I don't know. Did you change your name because that name looks new? Oh, I'm somebody that does recognize names. I like to talk to you guys because, traveling solo, I actually like building this community and getting to know you guys. What was I saying? Right, business funding. Okay, so business funding. Here's something that you need to understand about credit. This is actually going to go live. It's going to stay on the page. So then people who see this after will be able to get some of this information, which is why I don't want to, you know, give too many dead spaces. Okay. Aiden. Aiden. I do know that name. You did change your name. Ah, that's funny. Okay. Business funding, right? Okay. So credit and funding was never meant for the consumer. That's what's so interesting about funding, right? It was never meant for people to use credit cards to buy shoes and whatever. It was meant always for people to do business. Christopher Columbus, when he was traveling across the world, he went to the Queen of England. They said no. So then he went to the Queen of Spain or the King of Spain, and the King of Spain said, you know what? We want to make money because England has so much. So we're going to give you, if you tell us that you can make us richer than the English, we're going to give you money. So then Christopher Columbus went to the King of Spain. King of Spain said, all right, here's a bunch of money. And then he used their money to make more money and made himself rich. And that was how business funding was always meant to be used. You're not supposed to use a credit card to go and do a vacation or to get the latest Jordans or to get a PS5. That's not what business funding is for. So, because we understand this, it was always meant to start a clothing company, it was always meant to start a restaurant, start a bank, to buy Twitter like Elon Musk did. It was always meant to use to make more money. Now that you know this, in your country, there are ways for businesses to get money. In whatever country that you're watching this, every business has a way to get money from the banks because every country in the world has banks. So then in your country, you should be thinking, all right, it's not about how do I start a business to get money. How do I get money to start a business? Ah, how do you get money to start a business? That's how the rich think. So then you're going to five, six, seven different banks, not Chase or the big banks, not Swiss Bank. You're going to the small banks, the credit unions. You're getting 10K from this bank, 100K from this bank, 5K from this bank, 50K from this bank. You put it all together, you start your business. You start your real estate empire. etc., etc. You start a construction company. That's how people think about business. The more money that you can get from the bank, the more money that you can make. That's how you do business. So then, my recommendation to you is you start with the local banks, start with the credit unions, and then go up to the national banks. Wherever you are, figure out what paperwork you need, start a business, get money from the banks, and then make money to do business. Sorry, you get money to do business. Get money to make money. Hope that makes sense. All right, let me see. I've invested more than 100K US in stocks and own a real estate property. Okay, what should I invest in next? Should I buy my new apartment? We are talking about business funding. Okay, cool. Um, I have invested more than 100K in stocks. Okay, so that depends on one. Congratulations, you're doing very well. 100K invested in stocks is more